What's up, everybody? How are we doing? We're here for another random ass rant slash video. This is Chronicles of the Wolf for the Switch 2. It's not only on the Switch 2, but to my disfortune, I made up a word today. To my misfortune, I got it on Switch 2 because it's got issues, because of course it does. Now, the Switch 2 haters are going to instantly be like, well, you know, the Switch 2 has its problems, and you should have never got a Switch 2, and blah, 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 blah. I already covered all this in the last video. I'm not interested in hearing it. And that's not really the full picture or completely fair, I don't think, because optimization is a thing. And I'm sure it all boils down to that this was optimized properly for the Switch 1 and not so much for the Switch 2. And while it seems to be running pretty smoothly here, all I need to do, fair warning for anyone with epilepsy or seizures, you might want to look away at this point. But all I got to do is, here's your warning, to pause the game, wait, not that way, to go into a menu. And we got this nice little flickering problem, which may or may not be showing up on screen. I think it is. And yeah, you have this issue when certain enemies are on the screen, anytime the menu is pulled up, and even during select attacks, as I found out on a boss fight, which was highly unfortunate. But it is what it is. So, yeah. It's pretty great. Silver key. Yeah, I gotta find a silver key. Great. So yeah. One of the purchases I'm debating for the Switch 2, although I'm gonna assume it's optimized for the Switch 2, is the Switch 2 version of Shadow Labyrinth. The Pac-Man horror Metroidvania, whatever the hell we're calling it. Because I'm really interested in how that's going to turn out. See, the screen just flashed again there, actually. I should probably just have a warning for this whole video, because I honestly don't know when it's going to pop up versus not. You know, when it will, when it won't. If it won't much at all, I don't really have a way to know. I'm just kind of surprised every time I see it, you know. It's not something I was expecting, but I can't turn around. I've already transferred all my stuff to the Switch 2. So I can't turn around, get it on the Switch 1, and then put it back on the Switch 2. Like, I can't do all that. Ugh! It's too complicated. Also, for those who don't want spoilers, fair warning, because this is a bit into the game. I don't think I'm, like, terribly far. But far enough to be a potential spoiler. Is this a boss I just triggered on accident? Oh, fuck, I think it is. And more flashing, and I'm dead. Because, you know, in fairness, I didn't have a ton of health going into that, but okay. Good to know there is a boss there. Whoops, wrong menu. So yeah, good times. I'm going to try to fight that thing again, even if I don't stand a chance against it. But yeah, needless to say, this whole Switch 2 debacle is really making me think, which I got into in the last video. It's really making me think about what I want to get, because I can get, like, I'm considering like 5 games at once currently, which is bad because there's like stuff in my backlog I could play and not spend anything. But, you know, just gamer problems, right? And the things I'm considering are this game, which was a whopping $20, so, like, I already did that. Decent Metroidvania. And, you know, I like those things, so I wanted to give this one a try. Plus, narration is done by Robert Belgrade, Alucard from Symphony of the Night, which is great. Plus, a recommendation from the Vania fan, like-minded fans of Castlevania stuff. That's not good. I could probably outlast this, but, like... I just do that! Except they suck. I just keep going around it. I could probably get this done. But yeah, so like, it really has me thinking, like, over and over again about what my purchases are going to be. Because it's one of the better games out there, I only played it once, but it's one of the greater games, at least from a Metacritic perspective. Probably a lot of fans too, is the Metroid Prime in general, but the remaster, I never actually ended up getting it, so I decided to fix that mistake. Although Nintendo didn't technically get my money because I bought it secondhand off Mercari from someone, so I helped somebody's pockets. But really, it's to kind of solidify, like, hey, you know, I'm all for a physical game if possible, not so much a fake physical game, which is what game keycards are, and it's getting a whole load of backlash right now for very good reason. And yeah, it's fun stuff. So it has me rethinking a lot of potential purchases. What might be my first physical... Oh shit, the walls are closing in on me too. I wonder if that's going to make a difference. That could be a problem. This could be a problem. This could be a problem. Do I do enough damage? It's a DPS check. Oh god. Oh, I can't get hit again. Can we do it? Can we do it? Oh god, I might die. I might die, folks. I might die. Help me now. Jump. Oh, flashing. Oh, it's dead. Good. Fantastic. I actually think it might have stopped trying to crush me at some point. I don't know. Not entirely certain. Aha! Silver key! We get the silver key from that nonsense. Good stuff. But yeah, although in fairness, I think DK Bonanza is probably going to be on a cart. Like, they can't be that dumb, right? It's also 70, not 80. Make that make sense? You know. But yeah, like, that's 70 bucks. So, this is 20. I went ahead and got the Prime Remaster. I think I paid just under retail of what it is just to get a physical. Because, you know, Nintendo games don't go on sales. Apparently, the fans think so too. Which, you know, good on them. Not trying to not give them money, you know. It's based on merit alone. Make sure they get their fair share and all that. But, like, that brings the total up to 50 bucks. Right? Then Shadow Labyrinth, which is 30. I think as the deluxe makes it 40. So now we're talking about over DK Bonanza, but like the whole thing of it is that that's for what? Only the two things I mentioned, and then 40 bucks more, so that's 100 bucks. For only 30 bucks more, I got 3 times the games. If I throw an extra one in there for good measure for the Ninja Gaiden Rage Bound, which I assume is going to be 30 bucks, based on a physical being out months later, that's 40. Probably 10 bucks less for the digital. I'm kind of guessing here because I don't actually know. But $130 to get 4 games versus paying $70 to get 1 game. And when Prime wasn't part of the equation, there's even less of a gap, but for more games. You kind of get the idea, right? Like, it's just, what are we really going to do with our money? And I might not even do all that, but I'm kind of just using examples and giving my thought process of, like, current games. It just so happens that a lot of stuff comes out in June. So, you know, something to consider. Thinking with the wallet is certainly something we'll want to do more often. Plus, money ain't easy to come by nowadays, so these are all things worth considering when I forgot about that. When trying to consider what to do with your money. I'm kind of lost as to what I truly want to do. Because I imagine outside of like first party stuff, I don't know how much I'm necessarily going to get on the Switch 2. I don't know if we're going to run into another problem as the Switch 1 where a lot of stuff doesn't run great. I want to say no because of the better tech. But even with what Nintendo considers better tech, which, I mean, it is. I'm not going to take that away from them, but they're always behind on things. So, who knows? And some titles have gotten little significant upgrades. I got a couple games that fall under that category, being the Link's Awakening remake, which I never played all the way through, so if I ever get curious, I can go back to a better version of that. Pokemon, as mentioned in the last video, is pretty great. There's also... That doesn't work. There's also... I'm just trying to think of stuff that I like specifically have. Mario Odyssey also has a decent upgrade. Templar Sword. Is that better than what I have here? More screen flashing, because why not? Spiked Warhammer. I didn't even check that. Wow, that's a lot better than what I have, actually. Wow, that's even... Holy shit, we just got some fucking killer weapons here. Templar Sword is like the Great Sword. 185. We just gave ourselves a big attack boost here. Fuck yeah, let's go. We're getting places. Great lover of weapons, was so happy to discover this section of the castle. Same! Now, thousands of items, I chose a sword which looked particularly sharp and a shiny set of armor. Once in my hand, the sword no longer cut anything, and the armor offered no resistance to the sheet of paper. Wait, what? My father burst out laughing. He explained to me that all the weapons and armor in this section were cursed. They are deadly but useless once in our possession. What a pity. Oh, well, I definitely don't want to use those. But yeah, this is cool. Look at this. I can wreck these fools in 3 hits. I think it was taking multiple before. Shit. I wasn't expecting a trap there. Step on these things. Shit. Get fucked. Get absolutely fucked. To top this all off, the Steam Summer Sale is a thing right now. So, you know, further temptation. Which I didn't even factor that into everything else I've been saying. But these are already things that are, like, personally tempting me. And everyone's, like, needs, tastes, so on and so forth are going to be different. But, like, these are all considerations we have to make. And a lot more often, just because of the nature of things nowadays. It's kind of depressing in a way, if you really think about it. I try not to think too hard about it, but, like, we're knee-deep. Or, we're not that far into it. Let me not make it that serious. But, like... We're in there into whatever the next potential gaming generation could look like. You know, is it 10th gen at this point? I forget. But, like, Switch 2 is the start of the next thing, right? So, fresh new consoles, and while it might not be the most flashy one to start, we all got to start somewhere. So, new things, you know? Oh, fuck. Am I going to be able to get up there? Back up there? Can I? No? Shit, I fucked up. I fucked up! There's not even a save point. Can't see shit. Blue Queen. What's that even mean? What are we talking about, Blue Queen? Release the potion. I don't know what that means either. A lot of cryptic shit in this game. It's like Simon's Quest. But yeah, I mean, that's like the extent to my rant, essentially. It's, A lot of stuff to consider nowadays with this stuff. But I would recommend this. Maybe not necessarily on the Switch 2. The devs have addressed that there is going to be a patch for it. That they're aware that this happens on Switch 2. I don't know what the timeline is on that, but they have acknowledged it. So, I mean, that's at least good. I keep pulling up the wrong fucking menu. And, you know, hopefully there's not too many other things that run into these same issues. It may very well just have to do with the optimization, which is really my biggest hope at this point. I really don't want to run into another scenario where you could possibly just, like, you want the convenience of it being portable, but for that you just completely sacrifice your gameplay experience, because then we'll just keep not opting to get stuff. When you combine that with the whole game card debacle, you know, that's gonna limit the options for Switch 2. And considering I don't really have a active interest in, and maybe it's too early to say, but I don't really have an active interest in next gen if it's going to be like quad digit territory. So, for a console. So, if there's a bunch of Switch 2 issues, I'm probably not going to really get a whole bunch. It's hard to say. And part of that is there isn't much to get right now anyway. Like, outside of Bonanza, the stuff I mentioned are things I could get on the Switch. But only Shadow Labyrinth specifically has a Switch 2 version that you can get. Like, specifically such Switch 2 version. I don't think there is a Switch 2 version of Gaiden Ragebound. So maybe that's something I consider on another system just because of that. I don't really know. It's hard to say. I'm also a weirdo, and sometimes I consider, like, the origins of when something came out, like 2D Gaiden. It was on a Nintendo console, so I'm going to get it on a Nintendo console. Whether that actually applies to current day or not, I remember Origins, we don't forget. You know, it's just, sometimes I do things that way. Of course, this no longer has anything to do with, like, the value perspective, or if I should get it on the Switch 2 or not, or if it's going to have a card or anything like that. Here, here's a boss fight. I did just save, right? I'm assuming this is a boss fight. Oh my god. Fucking has 8k health! 8k health! This looks like that one thing from Symphony. Except it's doing way more stuff. And it's not a pile of corpses. Oh my god! It was firing its laser. Got super fucked there. Oh, what? This motherfucker. Think I would have remembered that, but me and remembering things, me and memory is not a strong suit. I'll forget shit I just saw. Fuck. This is some shit. Mr. Globe Face thing, cursed arms for some reason. Because it's a globe of weapons, I guess. I guess that's why it's called that. Would make sense. Ah! Ugh! Get fucked. Here comes the laser. Does it stop? Yeah, it does. Good. Just take the hits. Oh, shit. Shit. No, get out of there. Dang it. But thus concludes my Switch 2 rant of sorts. Maybe not the best Switch 2 game to use for an example to make some of the points that I'm making, but like, you just don't know when you're going to possibly run into these issues. And like, really, truly, once you've transferred all your stuff, what are you going to do? Go back to your like obsolete Switch 1 and get the stuff on the eShop, on a worse running eShop, and like make a separate account to do it? It just doesn't make sense, you know? So I'm hoping this is like a one-off thing, and that we can improve on optimization or whatever in the future. Shit! Let's heal, I guess, because I fucked up. We get a lot of free hits here, which is nice. How long is it gonna have those? Oh, we're getting rid of some of them. Shit. Shit! Okay, okay, this isn't so bad. This is going decently well, actually. Oh, fuck, 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 fuck. It's gonna do the other thing. It's dead. Oh, what? It got to do the laser anyway? It's dead! Oh, if my health was so low that that would have killed me, I would have actually been mad. That's fucked up. The thing was dead. Fucker. Remember to give that extra consideration to your gaming purchases. I still stand by the point of the previous video where the most important thing is to make sure you're having fun. But goddamn, are things getting expensive and exceptionally annoying. Like, we've been at the point where we're nitpicking things to possibly an unhealthy degree. And that's been the case for a while, but it's gonna be even more so now. Because our dollars certainly don't stretch like they used to. So, take care, everybody. I will see you guys on the next one, possibly with one of the gaming choices that I'm trying to currently make. And hopefully ones with less issues overall. And maybe completely positive. I don't really know. It's hard to say. So, take care, everybody, and have a great one. Later.